Hey everybody, this is Karen. So just a reminder, if you haven't done this, be sure to set your time zone. Okay. You click on that and it will be right here. Obviously I can't change mine, but it should say Mountain Time right here. Click Save and then just close this window once you've done that. Right, and then we're going to always come into the assignment calendar. And it's running a little slow. And then you come in here, which I already have it open, and download the materials. Currently unavailable. Nice. Maybe I can't show you right now. Okay, so click on download materials and try not to do this because it actually puts it into a zip file, and you have to extract it all and you need to put it in a certain folder, and it's just, I've had more students have issues with that than anything, just because they don't understand how to extract and save files from there. If you're very comfortable with doing that, then go for it. Otherwise, you download your instructions and download your spreadsheet. Then you can close this. If you don't want to download your instructions, you can actually look at your instructions here. And then you want to come back to your assignment calendar tab, go to your main menu, especially when you're doing your homework. Now this may or may not help you on greater projects that we don't finish in class, but this is definitely what you want to do for your homework. So click on the e-text, then click on view, and you might have a pop-up blocker that stops it, so be sure to check right here and always allow. And I'm going to back up a couple of pages. Okay, so you might want to go to Excel if you want to look at your, and then chapters. Okay, so this is our unit 1, and this is where we are. It's in chapter 1. Okay, and I've just navigated several pages down because I know where I need to go. And then if I come over, I'm looking, this is the actual textbook. Okay, it should just look like if you have a physical one, it's the same exact pages. Okay, and if you want to read through it, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to tell you you can't, but we don't have any actual reading assignments. Okay, so this is like if you don't know how to start or open an Excel file, you're just going to click on it, open. Yeah, if you don't understand how to do that, you can watch this video. So you click on that, and then this video is 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Okay, so they're usually 2 to 4 minutes, but I don't want that one either. And I don't necessarily want that one. This is where I want to be. Okay, so I'm going to open my Excel file and my instructions. And then this first step, click the golf cart purchases. If you notice, it should correlate this video to, they pretty much correlate with the step in your instructions. Now every now and then they might be a little bit off, but for the most part they're going to be exactly the same. So we're in chapter 1, step 2, and so it's saying, oops, click on the golf cart purchases worksheet tab. In E7 type in 6495. Okay, so this is telling you how to get there, and you can go down, use the arrows and over. Okay, that seems like a lot of work, but what they're saying is go down 6 and over 3 or 4, 5, whatever. Okay, what you basically want to do is this name box to be E7, or you can click on it. Okay, and then we're going to type in 6495, and it says to hit Control Enter, and all that does is keep that cell active. Okay, if I were to hit 6495 and then just hit Enter without the Control key, it moves it down to the next cell. So if you're wanting to keep this active for whatever reason, you're going to work with it again in a second, you hit Control Enter. If you're doing data entry, like if I'm just typing in numbers here, like that, you want to hit Enter so that it just moves down for you and keeps going, so you can just keep entering. Okay, and then we're going to go to D5 and say Easy Go. So that's still part of step 2. Notice now it tells you how to move the arrows over and get to D5. Okay, so I'm going to go to D5 and say Easy Go. And be sure to capitalize. If it's capitalized here, capitalize it. If it's not, like down here, don't. Alright, and then we're going to bold D13. D13 bold. And in A13, we're going to type in total interest cost. Colon. Be sure to put the colon in there. And then that would be all of the steps of this video. Because remember, the homework I'm not doing for you because it's in the book. Every step out there is in the book. Okay? So we can go to the next one. It's still part of the 3. So you got total interest cost right there. Now we're going to jump to document the workbook. Okay, so step 3, add a comment in A9. Oh, that was before. A9, replace the comment title text but not the colon with annual interest rate. Okay, and so I've got a different version on this machine now, but it should have new comment or something like that right here on yours as well. Now this is what's going to look different. Okay, it looks like start a conversation. Okay, and I'm just going to type in yours. If you have 19, 16, or 19, you right click and you add a comment. It'll have your name with a colon. So you'd want to take that off and just type in annual interest rate colon annual interest rate. Okay, so replace the comment title, which would be your name if you're on one version, and leave the colon there, and then after the colon we're going to type in annual rate of interest. Interest in decimal or percentage. And we're going to put a period in. Be sure to leave a space after the colon and type a period at the end of the comment. Okay, and then we're going to go to the documentation worksheet, and in A8, type in today's date. So I'm just going to hit enter. Nope. Click that button, and it's there. Okay, if I needed to edit it later, I could come back and edit. So, notice these are called worksheets. This whole thing is called a workbook. And it says documentation worksheet, and you don't see it here, but you notice there's 3 dots here, and this arrow is dark. It means there's more info this way. Okay, so you click on that, or you could click on the 3 dots, either way, and it gets you there. Okay, so then I'm going to put in today's date, type my name, and then it says added comment to a key heading on the golf cart purchases worksheet, no period. Added a comment on a key heading on the golf cart purchases worksheet. Okay, and now we're going to jump back to the golf cart purchases worksheet, and in A2 type in Red Bluff. See if I can, oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to golf cart purchases and go to A2, type in Red Bluff Golf Course and Pro Shop. And then A3, we're going to type in golf cart purchases, go purchase analysis. And then here we're going to do 6/6/2018. Alright, and then G4, we're going to say option 5. And in D9, we're going to put in 0.06%. Okay, and then we're going to jump back to the documentation worksheet. We could do a lot of jumping. And we're going to wrap text on this cell. Notice it's fallen over into the next cell. If I were to type here, we lose what's out there. Okay, so you want to make sure you don't do that. So I'm going to click on that cell, C8, and I'm just going to wrap text. And that's in the Home tab and the Alignment group. And if you don't have it shrunk down like I do, you'll see the word wrap text. Okay, and so this is a toggle. If it's grayed out, it's on. If it's not grayed out, it's off. So it's either on or off. And we're going to jump back to the golf cart purchase worksheet, and in A3, we're going to create a hard return after the word cart. Be sure to delete any spaces between cart and purchase. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to the eText. I mean, I know how to do this, but I want to show you. So I'm on step 6. Okay, we've already did our comments. This is our documentation. Scroll. Enter information into the worksheet. We did all that. See, that's step 5. And then I look here, we're on step 6, golf cart wrap text. And then notice in our instructions we have wrap text, and we have 2 different set things to do. Okay, so click on the worksheet, and in A3, click on the formula bar. Okay, so A3, this is your formula bar. and immediately to the right of the word cart, click. And then delete, just the delete key, gets rid of that space. And then we're going to press Alt Enter to insert a line break. So Alt Enter. And then it's often called a hard return. And then Control Enter to complete the entry, to make it the active cell. Okay, now you can see it's visible. Now notice the golf cart is only here, but if for some reason when you turn this in you had a spelling error or something, you can click this down arrow and see both lines of data in that cell. Okay, it's broke, you know, has a line break, and so to see it you just have to hit that down arrow. Okay, so that's great use of the textbook. Okay, and then the next thing says we're going to go back to the golf cart purchases. So we're there. Cut the contents in D5 and place it in C5. Okay, so D5, you can cut, you can Alt right click and cut. You can cut up here in your home tab. This is cut. You can also, if you know your shortcut keys, Control X is cut, like scissors. Okay, and then Control V is paste. So I cut and paste. And then we're going to copy the contents in D6. So I'm going to actually do Control C for copy and paste. And then it says now copy the contents in C5 to C6 to E5 and 6. Okay, and then we're going to copy that all the way across. So I'm actually just going to shortcut us a little bit. So select both by click and drag. Notice that this is a selection cursor. This, the solid plus sign, is a copy cursor. And then notice that I've got all the arrows going different ways. That is a move cursor. Okay, so if I wanted to move this information, I can move it. Okay. If I want to copy it, I make it a solid plus and then just copy it across. Okay, now we're going to select A2 to A4 and actually just move it up one. So I want to make it my move cursor, bump it up one, and let go. And then we're going to select F7 through F13 and copy that over. Oh, whoops, I skipped a step. A2, no, I didn't. Okay. And then in D6, we're going to come back up here and type in RXV as in Victor. And then in E6, we're going to say freedom text or TXT. And then in F6, it's a freedom RXV. And then in G6, it's the drive. And G7, the price is $69.95. G8, the purchase price is $63.50. And we're going to jump back up here to G5, and it's a Yamaha. So that was, I've done a bunch of steps since then. So this is copy. Talks a little bit about contiguous versus non-contiguous, and then we're drag and dropping. This is cutting and pasting, okay, or drag and drop, either one. So this is the information we just finished, changing the pricing. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go back to my spreadsheet. Okay, now we're going to move the contents from C4 all the way to G13. So I'm going to select, drag all the way down to G13. Okay, select all that and just move it over. And we're going to go merge A1 through F1. Okay, so we're going to take A1 through F1, go home, and merge and center. Now, later, if you misspelled something here, with merge and center, it's pretty easy. But on this one, I'll show you how to change that here in a second, too. Okay, so A2 through F3. A2 to F3. We're going to center across selection. So that's in our Home tab, in our alignment group, because that's an alignment issue. I'm going to go to the More button. There's more options. And this is a horizontal alignment, not a vertical. So I'm going to go down to my horizontal and center across selection. And click OK. And now, if you were to click here, you see there's nothing in my bar. So if you spelled something wrong in a minute when you turn it in, you actually have to go back to the cell that it started in. So it was started in A2. Okay, then you can adjust it. Okay, so now we're going to insert a new row 4. So inserting rows, they go above. So if I want a new row 4, I'm going to click on 4, right click, and insert. Insert a new row 8. So I'm going to go to 8. You can also go to Home and Insert. It does it for you there. 11 through 12. So I want both of these. I'm going to click 11 and 12. Right click, Insert. And then 15, 16, same thing. Select both and Insert. Now we're going to go back and delete 11 and 15. So I'm going to click on 11 and then hit the Control key and click on 15. So I've selected both of those rows. Right click, delete. Now when we insert columns, they are actually to the left. Okay, so if you insert a column, it's going to go to the left. So I'm going to insert to the left of column C. So I'm going to click on C, right click, and insert. And then it says insert a column to the left of G. So come over here to G, insert, then F, and then E. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys are still there. I'll have to look. I tried to pause it. Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. Okay, so now we're going to adjust the column width of C, E, G, and I. So I'm going to click on C, E, G, and I. And to do that, I'm hitting the Control key. C, Control E, Control G, Control I. And we want to adjust the column width to 2. So I can do that at Home and Format, Column Width. And then just type in 2. And then I want to adjust the row height of 4, 11, and Control, and then 14. Control again, 14. Okay, so these are all selected. Now I'm going to just right click right here and do row height. And we're going to make that 7. Now we want to auto fit the column widths of A, B, so I'm going to hit Control, D, F, H, and J. Now, a really quick way to do that is selecting these, and it doesn't matter which one you decide to do, but notice my cursor is pointing down. If I get on the edge, it's got a line with arrows going right and left. So any of these, once you get it to right and left, double click, and that auto-fitted each one of these columns. And then we want to adjust the column width of A to 26. So it wants it a little bit wider than what it's telling us, or what the auto-fit was. This auto-fit took in the longest word, and we want a little bit more information, or a little bit more white space. So right click on A, and go to column width, and type in 26. And just got more white space there. Okay, so now we're going to create a new blank workbook. So before we do that, let's go to save. And you want to, I don't know how to turn that on. I'll have to look at that in a minute. Okay, so now we want to create a new workbook. So we can go to File, New, Blank Workbook. Okay, it says Blank Workbook. Alright, so now what we're going to do is move, we're going to name it this. So I'm going to copy that. Come down here and do a File, Save. And it doesn't matter where you put it because we don't need it anymore. I'm just going to put it in my downloads. File name goes here, and don't worry about the .xlsx because that's what a workbook, an Excel option is, or Excel book is. Okay, so hit save. Now I've got it there. Don't worry about the name. Okay, we're not going to submit this one, so it doesn't matter what we do with it. Now we're going to move Mower Purchases Worksheet from this to here. So I'm going to click on Mower Purchases, right click, we're going to move or copy, and I'm going to select which book do I want to put it in. Okay, so I'm going to click the down arrow and say I want to put it in Mowers. I'm going to put it before sheet. I do not want a copy of it, so leave that unchecked. Click OK. And you notice it's gone out of here and it's moved to here. Okay. And then the next we're going to copy the documentation worksheet. So we're going to copy this one and put it in here. Okay, so I've got my golf carts. Right click, move or copy. We're going to select that we want it to go to Mowers. And does it tell me where? No. Okay, I'm just going to put it before Mower, but be sure to create a copy, or it actually just moves it out of here and puts it in here. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. And now I've got my documentation and my mower purchase in here, in my mowers. Alright, so you can close that. We don't need it anymore. Save it. If you want to, you don't have to. Okay, now notice that it was 0 points to copy that. Okay, so if you didn't do it, it's not going to count against you. Alright, now we're going to create a new worksheet named June Golf Cart Usage. So I can come down here and right click and insert, or I can just push this plus sign. Okay, so I'm going to hit the plus. And I'm going to name it, double click on it to name it, June Golf Cart Usage. And it wants to be to the right of May. So I'm going to click on it. And notice I've got a little paper document. And notice that right here is my black arrow. It says that's where it's going to go. So if I move over here, now it's going to go where it is. Alright, so I want to be to the right of May usage, or yeah, May golf cart. So I'm going to make sure the arrow is on that side, on the right side of it. Let go, and it moves it. Okay, so click and drag to move your worksheets around. And then we're going to change the color of June to blue accent 1. So right click, tab color, blue accent 1. And then we're going to change the color of May. So right click on May, tab color, orange accent 2. Now we're going to copy the contents out of May and paste it into June. Okay, so instead of selecting all of this data, because sometimes spreadsheets can be really, really big, we can click on this box right here in between the A and the 1. Doesn't have anything on it. Click it. Notice I hit selected everything. Okay, so I'm going to right click up here and copy. Then I'm going to go to June, do the same thing, click on that box, right click, and paste. Okay, and then, let's see, paste on the June golf, clear the contents in A11. So I'm going to get rid of all of this, A11 through A41. So I'm selecting it, right click, clear contents. And then we need to delete row 12. Right click, delete. And now we're going to change H3 to June. So I'm just going to click on H3, select May, and just type over June. Okay, that way I don't misspell totals or something. And then we're going to go back to A11 and type in 6/1/2018. And we're going to fill the content. So if I click on A11, make my cursor the plus sign, I can drag it all the way down, and it fills in the date for me. Okay, so now we want to move the June worksheet to the left of May. So I'm going to pick it up and just move it, make that black arrow go to the left of May, and let go. Now I've got May and then June. Move, and then now we're going to copy May into a new worksheet and name it July. So I'm going to just click on May instead of doing it like we did a second ago. Where did my May stuff go? I bet I cut, didn't I? Don't cut it. Go back, guys. Don't cut it. I'm going to paste it. And we need to insert an extra row. See, even your professor messes up sometimes. Copy, insert. So 5/1/2018. Make sure I got 31. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to copy this one and name it July. Okay, so I'm going to right click, move or copy, and we want it before June. Okay, before June, but make sure you say create a copy. So I'm going to create a copy, click OK. And now I've got one that says May golf cart usage 2. So we need to just rename this. So double click on it and say July golf cart usage. And then we're going to change the color. Hit enter. And then right click, tab color, gold, accent 4. Again, we're going to change this to July. And come over here and change this to 7/1/2018. And then do the same thing, double click, it copies it all the way down. Alright, now we're going to go update our documentation worksheet. And in A22, we're going to put in today's date. Oops. 19. And say June golf cart usage. Your name. And golf. Golf cart usage analysis, and then again we're going to say July, and notice as I start to type a letter, it pulls in what might be copied above. If it does that, just hit tab if that's what you want. And then here, same thing, kind of saves you some typing. Okay? Alright, and then we're going to move the documentation worksheet to the right of May. So I'm going to pick it up, click on it, drag it over to the right of May. Now we're going to scale May, June, and July. Okay, so you could do these separately, but I'm going to show you a trick to do them all at the same time. So we're going to click on May, hit the control key, click on June and July. So now you can see they're all highlighted. And we're going to look at our worksheet to fit columns of 1 page. So let's look at home. Doesn't look like anything in here that I could do. But if I go to page layout, okay, I'm changing the layout of my page, I can see scale to fit as a group. And I want all my columns on 1 page, so that's my width going across the page. So if I go to width, click the down arrow, select 1 page, and then come over here to margins and select narrow. Now, it doesn't change anything you're seeing here, but it does change what you see when you go over here to print. Okay, so now it's all on 1 page. Okay. Now, very important. Where did it go? There we go. After you've done this step, you need to ungroup these. Okay, so I'm going to right click on any of them. It doesn't matter which one I'm on. Right click and ungroup the sheets. And you notice we went back to being separate. Okay, that's very important. Okay, we're going to change the documentation worksheet to landscape. So we're going to go to documentation. Again, that's a page layout issue. So I'm going to change the orientation to landscape. Again, you don't see any difference here, but it does change on your printing. And then we want to change the print setting to print the entire workbook. Okay, so I'm going to hit File and Print. And notice it says Active Sheet. I'm going to hit that down arrow and say Entire Workbook. And then it should change and you have 5 pages. Okay, if you have more, I don't think it actually counts it. You don't get dinged points or anything. Okay, so while we're here, we're going to export the workbook to a PDF. export, create a PDF, want the entire workbook, convert to PDF, and needs to save. Okay. It comes up with a name, and that's fine. Again, this is no points. Okay, so I'm going to save it as a PDF. Now, quite a few of you in class today didn't get, we had errors on our PDF creator. Okay, don't worry about it. Again, it is no points. So I just want you to know how to create a PDF, and don't worry about it that if you can't. Okay? And then the last step is just to make sure your workbook is in the correct order. Okay, so if we come back down here, we've got golf cart purchases, July, June, May, and documentation. So it looks like we're good to go. I'm going to hit the save button, close it, and close my instructions. Now I'm going to go back to this tab, test, I think it's called test presentation. Okay, choose the file. Right, I suggest, it was in my downloads, that you need to look at date modified, sort it by that. So, because we're going to have a lot of files out here, and you're going to get lost on the name of them. Okay, and so I saved it just a minute ago, so I'm going to assume that this is the correct one. Okay, click OK or open. Then you have to upload it. Wait for the green box. Once it says it's successful, submit for grading. Okay, and then if we go back to, go back to the calendar. You can click on these three dots right here. View submissions. And I got a 96. Okay, so it's what's in the grade book is 100 because it does take the highest score. So I got a lower score. I don't need to worry about this one. But I'm going to show you, so I can filter everything that I did wrong, or I can just show them all. Okay, so this has to do with the version that we're on. So if you're using the same version as me, we're not going to get this correct. Okay, so you know, if you are dying to have 100, you can email me and I can change your grade. But just know that a 96 is an A. And it's not going to affect your grade very much if it's 96 or if it's 100. Because we have, like, I don't know, 3,000 points or something for the semester. So 4 points is not going to really make or break you. But if you need it, you can always email me and I can adjust the grade. But that's only for the guys that are using Office 365. Okay? If you're using 16 or 19, you fix this and get it correct. Okay? Alright, that's it for this homework. Now, Saturday, your homework is on your own. Okay, and the nice thing about the e-text is I was in it at school and I came home on a different computer and it saves exactly where I was. So if you're stepping through the book with your chapters, and you close it and you come back in a couple of days, it'll bring it up at that end of that chapter. Okay. Or if you want to skip it, come over here to Excel, it's our unit, and then go to chapter 2. And then you can jump through and find the first one on that one. Okay, so that's how you get to, so format numbers is the first step. And then you can watch the video if you need to get your homework done for the weekend. And again, Wednesday I'll go through the problem solve with you in class, but you may not, we may not finish it. So if you come out to Canvas, you should have modules now. Oh, maybe not. Need to fix that. So you'll have, yeah, so there's a welcome video that was from the spring, and finding and fixing errors is out there, and then chapter 1 problem solve is out there as well. Okay, so all these videos are going to be available to you now. Alright, so good luck, and I'll see you guys, if you're in my lecture class, see you guys Wednesday. Bye.